The city was waking up like any other day. Birds chirped softly, the sun peeked over tall buildings, and people started their usual routines. But something strange was already in the air, something no one could see or smell. It moved quietly, invisible and deadly. At first, it looked like nothing more than a common allergy season. People sneezed and coughed, blaming the pollen drifting through the streets. Just hay fever, many said. But as the hours passed, more began to feel weak and tired. Their sneezes turned into coughing fits, and their eyes reddened beyond the usual irritation. In a small apartment, Sarah sat at her kitchen table, rubbing her nose. She sniffled and tried to ignore the growing itch in her throat. Outside, cars rushed by, and children laughed on the playground, unaware of the silent danger creeping over the city. Across town, Dr. Marcus Hayes stared at the growing number of calls coming into the hospital. The emergency room was filling up with patients showing similar symptoms: runny noses, watery eyes, mild fever. It's nothing alarming, at least on the surface. But something about it didn't sit right with him. "We're seeing more cases today than usual," Marcus said to his nurse. "And these symptoms seem to be spreading too fast." The nurse shrugged. "It's probably just the pollen count. This time of year, it happens." Marcus shook his head. "No, this feels different." In a dark laboratory deep beneath the city, the Sci-Fi Defenders team was already working. They were not like normal scientists or soldiers. They were trained to find and fight dangers no one else could see.
Ow.
Among them was Dr. Lena Chen, a virologist with sharp eyes and quick thinking. She looked at the data on her screen, watching. The virus's spread patterns. "This isn't just a seasonal allergy," she said quietly. "This virus moves faster than anything we've seen." Her colleague, Captain Alex Reed, leaned in. "How fast?" "If we don't act now, it could become a global disaster." Outside the lab, the virus continued its quiet march. People went to work, school, and markets, breathing in the invisible enemy. No one knew that this virus was different. It didn't behave like regular flu or cold. It attacked the lungs but also changed something inside the body, something dangerous. Back in the city, a young boy named Jamie sat at the breakfast table with his mother. Jamie sneezed again, rubbing his nose. His mother smiled, thinking it was just a little cold. But then Jamie's eyes widened, and he suddenly clutched his chest. "Mom," he gasped, struggling to breathe. His mother's smile vanished. She called 911, panic rising in her voice. The ambulance arrived quickly, but the medics were puzzled. Jamie's symptoms were unlike any allergy or cold they had seen. His breathing was shallow, his skin pale. At the hospital, Marcus examined Jamie. His face grew serious as he saw the test results. "This is not hay fever," Marcus told the nurse firmly. "Something new is happening." Meanwhile, the Sci-Fi Defenders team gathered around a large screen, tracking virus cases popping up across the globe. Asia, Europe, North America, the virus was everywhere, moving like a shadow no one could catch. "We have to warn the public," Lena said. "But if we do, panic will spread too." Alex nodded. "We need proof, something solid." Suddenly an alarm blared in the lab. The virus had mutated again. This time it was more aggressive. The team's hearts pounded as they watched the numbers spike on the screen. "This virus is designed to survive," Lena whispered, "and it's learning." The team worked through the night, running tests and analyzing data. Outside the city grew quiet as more people stayed home, sick or afraid. News reports mentioned a strange new illness spreading. But no one knew how serious it was yet. In a remote location, hidden from view, a shadowy figure watched the chaos unfold through monitor. The figure smiled coldly. "Phase 1 is complete," the voice said. "Soon, the world will see true power." Back in the city hospital, Marcus looked at Jamie again. The boy's condition was worsening fast. Marcus felt a cold knot of fear in his chest. He had seen many diseases in his career, but this one was different. It didn't just attack the body, it seemed to attack hope itself. Late into the night, Sci-Fi Defenders finally had a breakthrough. Lena discovered that the virus's structure was not natural. It was engineered, created as a weapon, not an accident. "We are dealing with something much worse than we thought," she told the team. This virus was unleashed on purpose. Alex clenched his fists. Who would do this? And why? Before Lena could answer, the lab's communications crackled to life. A message appeared on the screen, encrypted and strange. It was a warning, an alien warning. The team stared at the message in stunned silence. The virus was only the beginning. Meanwhile, across the city, people continued to sneeze and cough, believing it was just hay fever. They didn't know the invisible threat was closing in fast, and soon. Everything would change. The night deepened, and the city held its breath. No one knew how many would survive the coming storm. But the Sci-Fi Defenders were ready to fight, even if it meant facing the deadliest enemy Earth had ever seen. The city was still reeling from the strange illness that had quietly swept through the streets. Hospitals were packed with people who thought they had nothing worse than hay fever. But the truth was far more terrifying. The virus had spread faster than anyone expected, and it was changing. Dr. Marcus Hayes paced the hospital corridor, his mind racing. The patients were not getting better. Many were growing worse. Their coughs were deeper, their breathing more labored. Some even showed signs of confusion and weakness that didn't match any normal allergy or cold. This isn't just a virus, Marcus said grimly to his team. It's an enemy hiding in plain sight. Across town, the Sci-Fi Defenders were gathering information fast. Dr. Lena Chen stared at her monitors with a frown. The virus had mutated again overnight. The new strain was invisible to most tests and resistant to existing medicines. Worse, it seemed to be targeting specific human genes. Captain Alex Reed slammed his fist on the table. If we can't detect it, how do we fight it? Lena looked up, her eyes sharp. We need to understand where it came from. The team dug deeper. Satellite images, intercepted signals, and strange biological traces all pointed to something impossible. The virus wasn't natural. It was engineered. It wasn't from Earth. Meanwhile, the people outside lived in ignorance. Sneezing and coughing were still blamed on hay fever, but the virus was changing victims from the inside. Some started losing strength. Others became silent and withdrawn. The media called it a mystery illness, but no one connected the dots. One evening, a young woman named Mia sat in her apartment, fighting a relentless cough. She had no idea she carried the virus in a more advanced form. Suddenly, her phone buzzed. It was a message from an unknown number. Beware what you cannot see. The real enemy waits in the shadows. Mia's heart pounded. Was this a warning or a trap? Back at the lab, the Sci-Fi Defenders received a shocking update. A team member had tested positive not just for the virus, but for a dangerous new mutation that caused rapid deterioration. The infected person was one of their own. We can't afford to lose anyone, Alex said, his voice tight. We need to find a cure fast. As the team worked tirelessly, a deeper truth came to light. The virus was part of a plan, a bioweapon, sent to weaken humanity before an invasion. Alien forces, watching from afar, had unleashed the virus as the first strike. Lena's voice shook with urgency. If we don't stop this, the entire human race could be wiped out before we even know who's attacking. In the city, chaos began to simmer beneath the calm surface. People argued over masks and medicine. Governments scrambled to respond, often hiding information to avoid panic. But the virus was unstoppable. At night, the skies glowed faintly with strange lights. Alien ships had entered Earth's atmosphere, hidden in clouds and shadows. They watched, waiting for the virus to finish its deadly work. Marcus stood on the hospital roof, looking up at the stars. He knew the fight was just beginning. The virus was no longer just a sickness, it was a message, a warning, and soon humanity would have to answer. The hospital was tense. The infected team member lay in a sterile room, hooked to machines that beeped steadily. Dr. Lena Chen watched the monitors, her hands trembling slightly. The virus inside their friend was changing faster than expected. It wasn't just attacking the lungs anymore. It was affecting the brain, twisting thoughts and memories. Time is running out, Lena whispered. Captain Alex Reed stood nearby, his jaw clenched. We have to find a cure before it's too late. But the problem was simple and terrifying. No one knew how to stop this virus. Medicines helped only for a short while. Each mutation made it stronger, smarter. It was like the virus was learning how to survive, evolving right inside the human body. Meanwhile, outside the hospital walls, the city was growing uneasy. People who thought they had nothing worse than hay fever now faced strange new symptoms. Some developed sudden weakness. Others complained of sharp pains and dizzy spells. Panic began to spread quietly like a slow-burning fire in a secret lab beneath the city. Lena's team worked around the clock. They studied samples, ran tests, and tried every possible treatment. But every time they thought they had an answer, the virus changed again. Suddenly, an alert flashed on the main screen. A strange signal had been detected nearby, a coded message unlike anything they had seen. Lena's eyes narrowed. "This isn't a random virus," she said. "Someone or something is controlling it." Alex looked at her sharply. "You mean it's not natural?" Lena shook her head. "No, this virus was engineered. It's designed to spread quickly, avoid detection, and weaken humans from the inside." Outside, a newscaster spoke calmly about the mysterious illness, urging people to stay calm. But the Sci-Fi Defenders knew better. The virus was only the first wave of a much larger attack. Back at the hospital, Marcus examined the infected team member again. The patient's eyes flickered with confusion, then suddenly cleared for a moment. Then, as if a switch flipped, their expression changed to cold, almost robotic. Marcus's heart sank. The virus isn't just killing them, it's taking control. In the shadows, the alien force behind the virus observed the chaos with cold satisfaction. They had planned this carefully. Use the virus to weaken humanity, then strike when Earth was vulnerable. But the Sci-Fi Defenders weren't ready to give up. Lena gathered the team. "We're fighting an invisible enemy that adapts faster than we can react," she said. "But we have one advantage: human courage and determination." Alex nodded. "We find the source. We stop this virus. And we protect our planet." As the team prepared for their next move, the city held its breath. The invisible threat was growing stronger every hour. And the real battle, the battle for humanity's survival, was about to begin. The night sky was darker than usual, the stars hidden behind heavy clouds. High above the city, strange shapes moved silently, alien ships cloaked in shadow. They waited, watching the virus do its deadly work below. Inside the Sci-Fi Defenders' hidden base, Dr. Lena Chen and Captain Alex Reed stared at the screen, showing the incoming ships. "Hey!" The data was clear. The virus was just the first part of a much bigger plan. "We're not just fighting a virus anymore," Lena said, her voice low but steady. "The aliens who created this are planning to invade." Alex's fists tightened. "So the virus is their weapon to weaken us first." "That's cold. We need to understand who they are and how to stop them," Lena said. The team worked quickly, piecing together clues from intercepted signals and strange biological samples collected from infected patients. What they found shocked them. The virus was designed to target human DNA, making people weaker and easier to control. "But why us?" asked a young scientist named Raj. "Why attack humanity like this?" Lena shook her head. "Maybe they see us as a threat, or maybe they just want Earth for themselves." Meanwhile, in the city, life was changing fast. People were falling ill in increasing numbers, hospitals overflowed, and fear spread faster than the virus. Governments issued warnings, but still tried to keep calm. Yet rumors of strange lights in the sky and unexplained disappearances were spreading to. In a quiet park, an elderly man named Thomas watched the stars with a heavy heart. He remembered stories from long ago of humans who once fought against impossible odds. Now, those stories seemed more real than ever. Suddenly, his phone buzzed with a message: "Prepare. The real war begins soon." Back in the base, the SCI FI Defenders faced a difficult decision. The virus was unstoppable by normal means. The only way to fight back was to prepare for the alien invasion and protect what was left of humanity. Alex looked at the team. We'll need every resource, every mind, every fighter. Earth's future depends on us. Lena nodded. And we have to act fast. The aliens won't wait. As the alien ships moved closer to Earth's atmosphere, the invisible threat became visible. The virus was only the beginning of a dark plan. The fight for survival had truly begun. Outside, the city held its breath. Unaware of the storm coming from above and within, the skies darkened as the first alien ships broke through the clouds. Below, the city's lights flickered in uneasy anticipation. The virus had done its silent work now. The invasion had begun. Captain Alex Reed stood on the rooftop of the Sci-Fi Defenders base, watching the horizon. "This is it," he said. Grimly, the battle for Earth. Inside the command center, Dr. Lena Chen and her team prepared their defenses. They coordinated with military forces worldwide, sharing what little information they had about the virus and the alien threat. The virus had left many humans weak and vulnerable. But some infected showed strange new abilities: strength, speed, even heightened senses. It was as if the virus had changed parts of their DNA in unpredictable ways. "These mutations could be the key," Lena said. "If we can harness them, maybe we stand a chance." Alex nodded. "We need every fighter we can get, normal or enhanced." As the alien ships descended, panic swept through the city. People ran through the streets seeking shelter or weapons. The Sci-Fi Defenders led the fight, using advanced technology and tactics to push back the invaders. Explosions lit up the night sky. Laser blasts cut through the air. Buildings shook as alien troops clashed with human defenders amid the chaos. Marcus rushed through a hospital helping the sick and injured. His mind was torn between hope and despair. So many lives were at risk, but giving up was not an option. Suddenly, one of the infected patients let out a fierce roar and jumped to their feet stronger and faster than before. They fought off an alien scout with raw power no one expected. Defenders watched in shock. Could these new superhumans be the unexpected heroes they needed? But the battle was far from over. The aliens pushed forward with relentless force. The team lost friends and allies, each loss cutting deeper than the last. In a quiet moment, Lena whispered to Alex, "We have to find the alien command ship. Take it out, and we can end this." Alex gritted his teeth. "Then that's where we're heading next." The night was filled with fear and fury, but also with courage. Earth was fighting back, not just to survive, but to win. The dawn was pale and gray, but inside the Sci-Fi Defenders base, a new hope was growing. The strange abilities some infected humans had developed gave the team a chance to turn the tide. Against the alien invaders, Dr. Lena Chen studied the latest data carefully. The virus wasn't just a weapon of destruction. It had unexpected side effects. It altered DNA, unlocking hidden potential in some people. These superhumans could move faster, think sharper, and heal quicker. "We have to learn how to control these powers," Lena said. "If we can develop a vaccine that enhances these changes safely, we could create a new army, one capable of defending Earth." Captain Alex Reed nodded, but his face was serious. "It's risky. If it goes wrong, it could kill more people or worse." The team agreed, but they knew they had no other choice. The alien forces were too strong, and time was running out. In a secured lab, volunteers infected, but stable underwent the vaccine trials. Among them was Jamie, the young boy who had been one of the first victims. He now showed strange signs of strength and clarity despite his earlier illness. As the vaccine took effect, Jamie stood taller, his eyes bright with new energy. But not everyone was so lucky. Some volunteers suffered severe side effects: pain, confusion, even loss of control. "We must proceed carefully," Lena warned. "The line between power and destruction is thin." Meanwhile, the aliens were not idle. They sent new waves of attack, trying to crush the rising resistance. The superhuman defenders fought bravely, but each battle took a heavy toll in the chaos. Tensions rose within the Sci-Fi Defenders. Some members questioned whether the risk of the vaccine was worth it. Others worried about what these changes might mean for humanity's future. One night, as the team debated, an alarm sounded. The vaccine trial site was under attack. Alex grabbed his gear. We have to defend our own. This could be the last chance we get. The battle was fierce. Alien forces stormed the facility, but the superhuman defenders used their new abilities to hold the line. Jamie led a group moving with speed and strength no one had seen before. When the fight ended, the team stood bloodied but unbroken. The vaccine was a success, but only just. Lena looked at her team with determination. We're on the edge of a new era. If we survive this, humanity might be stronger than ever. Outside, the city watched and waited. The virus that once threatened to wipe out life on Earth was now the spark for a desperate fight and a fragile hope. The city lay in ruins, smoke curling from shattered buildings as the sun dipped low on the horizon. The Sci-Fi Defenders had gained ground, but the cost was high. Every victory came with sacrifice. Inside their command center, Dr. Lena Chen and Captain Alex Reed reviewed the latest intel. The alien command ship hovered just beyond Earth's atmosphere, shielded by powerful energy fields. We've learned it controls the virus and the invasion forces, Lena explained. If we take it out, the virus might lose its hold, and the invaders could retreat. Alex's eyes burned with determination. Then that's our target. We launch a strike at dawn. But the mission would not be easy. The alien ship was heavily guarded, and the team knew many wouldn't return. As the Sci-Fi Defenders prepared, Jamie and other superhuman defenders trained harder than ever. Their powers were growing, but so was the virus's hold on some of them. A dark struggle raged inside. Stay focused, Alex warned. We fight not just for Earth, but for each other. At dawn, the team boarded sleek fighters, weapons ready. The sky was cold and empty, but their hearts burned with courage. The battle above Earth was fierce. Lasers sliced through the blackness, and ships exploded in fiery blasts. The defenders pushed past enemy lines, fighting their way to the command. Ship dot inside, Lena and Alex led the charge. They navigated the alien corridors, encountering hostile guards and deadly traps. The ship seemed alive, its walls pulsing with strange energy. Finally, they reached the core, a massive control room glowing with alien technology. Lena moved to the control panel, her fingers flying over strange symbols. This is it. Time. To shut it down? Suddenly, an alarm blared. The virus pulsed through the ship, trying to stop them. Jamie stepped forward, feeling the virus fight inside his own body. This is my fight too, he said, eyes blazing. With a fierce cry, he unleashed his power, breaking through the ship's defenses. With seconds left, Lena activated the shutdown sequence. The ship's energy faltered, then exploded into a brilliant light. The defenders barely escaped as the alien command ship shattered in space. Back on Earth, the virus began to fade. Infected people slowly recovered. Hope returned. But the fight had changed humanity forever. The alien command ship's destruction sent shockwaves across the galaxy. On Earth, a quiet calm settled after months of chaos, but the world had changed. Forever. The virus that once threatened to erase humanity was fading. The invading forces had retreated. At least for now. Dr. Lena Chen stood outside the rebuilt Sci-Fi Defenders base, watching the sunrise. Her team was tired but alive, their faces marked by the battles they had fought. They had saved Earth, but the cost weighed heavy on everyone's heart. Captain Alex Reed approached her, his expression serious yet hopeful. We won the war, but the virus taught us something important. We're stronger when we stand together, and we can't let our guard down. Lena nodded. The virus changed, some of us gave new powers, new challenges. We must learn to live with that, to protect what makes us human. In cities across the globe, people returned to their lives forever changed. The survivors carried stories of courage, loss, and hope. Some were heroes. Others had lost loved ones. But all knew the truth. Earth was no longer the same. Meanwhile, deep in space, shadows moved. The alien forces had retreated but not vanished. They watched Earth carefully, waiting for the right moment to strike again, but now humanity was ready. The Sci-Fi Defenders began training a new generation humans and enhanced alike to defend the planet. Technology and biology merged in new ways, blending science with the unbreakable spirit of human will. And as Lena looked to the stars, she whispered, "We survived the invisible threat. Now we stand ready for whatever comes next." The battle for Earth had only just begun,